Hey and welcome to Neverwinter with Aragon. So here I want to cover over 240 ways of which you can make Astral Diamonds in the current state of the game as of module 29. Keep in mind of future updates and things changing. I have made a spreadsheet and you can see everything here. I'll have a link below where I share this spreadsheet, you can look through it yourself. But ultimately I've gone and listed pretty much anything, any content that you can do to obtain rewards that you can then sell to get some extra Astral Diamonds. Because the main base way is to earn Astral Diamonds from the game by getting your rough Astral Diamonds. And generally the easiest option is here, doing your random queues. You can run Dragonflight with your guild, getting some extra rough Astral Diamonds too. You can do your campaigns. Many of them will have ways you can get rough Astral Diamonds. And then you have events and other activities. So every day you want to obtain that and just click refine here. And the maximum is 100,000 per day. That is the main way and pretty much the only way you get Astral Diamonds from the game directly. The rest will have to come from other players. So they'll earn their Astral Diamonds and they'll choose to then spend it. And that is all orientated around this auction house. So people buy and sell stuff. So what you want to do is go out there in the game and look for items which you can then sell here to make some Astral Diamonds. You can see people are selling these for like nothing. To be honest, that's not really worth your time at all. You want to get some decent things that actually sell, like for example this shield, but it is just a cosmetic item, so its price may not be very permanent. Therefore trying to go for something like this, which is a gear item, which is actually pretty good, is going to have much more higher value. You can compare that versus say other artifacts that sell for like nothing. And that is all because different items are going to have differing supply and demand based on the current state of the game and the benefits that those items give you. But nonetheless, I've gone and pretty much just listed everything, irrespective of how valuable it's going to be. Because again, supply and demand can change drastically. Like, let's say calcified webbing. Let's say nobody is selling this, then the price of it is going to be pretty high. Back in the day when this was the current module with our Demonweb Pits, purchasing this and selling it would have been like super cheap. Now there's not many people getting this currency, and so the price has gone up. And again, it's all going to fluctuate throughout all of these different items I've listed. And I'm sure there's some things I miss. Absolutely feel free to put it in the comments below and I'll add it here. Anything that you think you can farm in game to earn to be able to sell that is at least of some value, feel free to let me know. There are of course some things in here which don't really have value at all, but I didn't want to really go and include every single craftable item that you sell for like nothing where it doesn't really have much value. But there is probably more things than I listed in crafting that you could actually make Astral Diamonds from. All I have really here for the workshop is like gold, flask of potencies, dyes, armor kits and jewels, upgrade materials for your workshop like myrrh and the other items you need to upgrade it from level 1 to level 2. And then you can get like guild supplies here in order to get say guild marks or donate to upgrading guilds. And there's just so many items in this game. And I pretty much went through it, starting with, say, Dragon Slayer campaign, and then the content tied to that, all the way down throughout these campaigns, as most of them are going to have ways which you can earn Astral Diamonds. For example, the current module, Mountain of Flame, has actually quite a few ways. If you look down here, you can see you can sell these two different enchantments. They have triple stats now, so they're actually somewhat good, but people who already have, say, Celestial Enchantments, is not really worth going back and investing a whole lot more to get these. But newer players, you could be recommended to do so. You can sell those Fiend Slayers and Wards. You can sell the epic Searing Conduit of Magma. You can sell 9 different legendary companion gear pieces if you get it to drop from Heroics and Fire Giant Lockdown. And you can sell like the Planner Bound Flame Spiker, which is going to be a vanity pet. Again, the prices on these is going to go all over the place depending on supply and demand. This in a few modules could be worth 100,000 Astral Diamonds, 200,000, just because there's not many people doing it. Right now there's loads of people doing these heroics, and therefore the vanity pet is like 22,000 because there's like 20 of them and not many people are going to buy it. But again, when the place is dead and people have moved on to new areas, the price goes up. So there's so many different ways you can manipulate the market here, particularly by buying things, holding on to them, and waiting for a later date. Of course, there are some things here which are more valuable than others right now, and you will find things, say, again, like we just had an example, the Tiamat's Arcane Globe, the Golden Sash, and the Golden Necklace is still a super good set for tanks, pretty much the best for survivability, and so it sells for a decent amount. The newest dungeon, Lair the Mad Dragon, if you're to get, say, the artifact to drop for you, you can make an absolute ton of Astral Diamonds from it. But yeah, the drop rate is going to vary. It's actually pretty low on this set, and so if you have lots of time to farm that dungeon, it can be well worth it with the collective set dropping pretty much from the same areas, adding up to quite a lot. It does drop in advanced, but like at a much lower drop rate than master, and that can be reflective across other content as well. It's just something to keep in mind. Like Demonweb Pits, the Marilith Mask, and the Jewel and the Sash are also going to drop in advanced and master, but you're going to have a better drop rate in mastered than you are in advanced. And then like with the Demonweb Pits campaign, there's all of this reagents that you can obtain from doing, say, your abyssal hunts, your explorer cases, then from the dungeon itself. For example, Fallen God's Ore still has a pretty decent price, so you could farm, say, the first boss in that dungeon and get quite a bit over time. Even with the advanced, with the Garistro Hide, this goes for a decent amount too. And yeah, overall, there's plenty of things you can do in the game to earn Astral Diamonds. Ultimately, you're going to have to go through this yourself and just have a look at the supply and demand on your platform. It can vary quite a bit. And if I suggest everybody to do one thing, then when everybody does that, then the supply gets really high and it outdoes the demand, and therefore the price will plummet on it. If I tell everybody to go to the Zarios challenge to get your celestial weapons to then go and sell them, these prices will plummet. Right now they're actually pretty high and you can make a lot of Astral Diamonds from them. Same with the Tower of the Mad Mage trial with the Lionheart weapons. They can sell for quite a bit. But Celestial right now compared to this is a bit more expensive, potentially because less people run Zariel at the moment. And then people will see that and they'll take the opportunity to actually run Zariel then instead. And then the prices of these will go down. But if we quickly go through this like step by step, I can point out a few things that will have some decent value right now, just off the top of my head. So again, like the first thing here would definitely be rough Astral Diamonds. Refine the 100,000 every day. That's easy Astral Diamonds, not dependent on anybody or selling anything. Keep in mind again that the rest of everything here is not in any specific order. So what you could do is go to your Sharandar campaign and get Shattered Diamond Shards. They actually go for an alright amount. You can open them, get rewards, but generally it is best to just sell them directly rather than the rewards that they would obtain, because you can't sell the 5% damage boost thing that they have. You could go to Vault of Stars. You could like farm your Displacer Beast Whiskers. They don't have the best value these days, but still a bit. And then there's even this like fashion item for barbarians that sells for a decent amount. In the North Dark Reaches, there's the Underdark Lurker Overload, which is like very good for tanks in Underdark content. Can go for a bit. The other ones, probably not that much. Same with all these epic shirt and pants and the Assassin's Dice, probably not that much, but you can check for yourselves. Same with the Temple of Spider Dungeon. I don't think any of these have high value. With the Mensa Branson campaign, you can get like Demon Wards and Slayers. I don't think any of these are great value. But the Lightning Flash, that is always very, very good value because it's currently the best in slot enchantment. You're selling for like 350,000 and you only need to purchase that for 100,000, as we'll find here, but with some campaign currency. So you do a bit of farming and you can absolutely make a lot of Astral Diamonds from it. Then there's like the Refulgent Fortification. That's not so great anymore. Probably won't sell for much, neither the Living Hex. But upgrading the Marilith Mask. This is quite tedious. Does require all of these annoying reagents, which are also pretty costly, and you have to have the campaign completed before you can get those reagents. So if you do look at the Marilith Mask on mythic quality, it'll probably still sell for quite a lot. Yeah, nearly 3 million, because you have to go through that super annoying upgrade process. So you can absolutely earn some Astral Diamonds from that. Going on from there, sure, there's some gear here you can sell. There is actually one shirt, which is very useful, or two of them, you could say. You can see them in collections, North Arc Reaches. The 8% damage against drowned spiders. Super valuable for Temple of the Spider and the Demonweb Pits dungeon. So farming heroic encounters for it can be viable to make Astral Diamonds. You can check the cost of it for yourself. Also, the 8% less damage taken from drowned spiders is very high value. I believe you have to do major heroics, and you can absolutely earn some good Astral Diamonds from that. You can go to the Semblance Reliquary trial, and if you can do Master, you can farm like your Wand of Domination plus the neck and waist pieces, and that still sells for a decent amount of Astral Diamonds. But you need quite high skill level and also a good character to get there to do that. Demonweb Pits campaign, I don't think those Slayers or Wards are selling for much, nor these Insignias, nor these enchantments, nor the wild card. Calcified webbing can get a little bit of Astral Diamonds from that. And then there's all this like masterwork materials from these Abyss hunts. I don't think they'll sell for much, but you can check for yourself again. You can do the Explorer cases and you can sell those materials also for some Astral Diamonds. You need to have masterwork unlocked to purchase these Explorer cases for the campaign currency. So you could just give guild marks and get those Explorer cases. But again, you need to check what items they are actually giving and check all of them and see if that's worth it for you or not to spend that time doing that. But yeah, then there's the dungeon itself. So you've advanced on Master. Again, Gristro Hide sells for great. Fallen Gods Ore sells for great. So you can just farm the first boss in those dungeons if you can, and it can be very profitable. You need to find some other people to do it with you. Selling the Marilith Mask and the set is also very good because that is a very nice like debuff set. It's still like best in slot right now for group content. Sure, there's some legendary and epic rings there, probably won't sell for much. With the Mensa Brands in crafting, I'll just change that name over there. You can unlock all of these recipes, you can craft these things and you can sell them. People make absolute tons of Astral Diamonds from these. For example, like the Scintillant set here, still like the best in slot set for your magical damage dealers, selling for like 500,000 there on the sash, and then the amulets like 2.6 million. You can make a load of diamonds from that. Then with Shroomwood as well, best in slot for the physical damage dealers, and you can also make a lot of Astral Diamonds from it. But master crafting is really expensive to get into. You need to spend like 25 million plus in order to actually unlock the recipes. So it is only for those like endgame players who are bored or don't have much else to do and nothing really to spend their diamonds on, and I wouldn't recommend it for a newer player. Also, because the more people who are crafting these items, the less value you'll actually get from crafting them. With the Light of Xeraxis campaign, I don't really think the Slayers or Wards sell for much, and I don't think the enchantments either. But Captain Flump, if you want to farm mini bosses and you're lucky to get him to drop for you, you can see that's some massive amounts of Astral Diamonds. So it can be totally worth to farm the mini bosses to get a chance to get him to drop, and also then spend all that currency to make some Astral Diamonds on selling these other things that might be okay. With the Defense of the Moondancer trial, there's still that artifact, which has been going back up in price since people, haven't been running that trial so much anymore. And then you have like the Adventures in Wild Space campaign. You have some enchantments here. You have the Divine Aegis, which is actually like best in slot enchantment for healers. Not sure why it's not coming up here. Maybe if I get rid of the uncommon, look in the enchantment section. there you go. I guess there's no green ones right now. This is definitely an opportunity to make Astral Diamonds. 600,000 for blue. Again, you could probably sell the green one for 200, 300,000, and you can check. You just need to farm some currency, and it only costs you 100,000, and you can absolutely make some Astral Diamonds from that. It's a best in stock combat enchantment. Healers need it right now. But then, yeah, there's some wards here and slayers, and Captain Flump again is in the newer mini bosses there as well. So you can make a lot of Astral Diamonds from that if you were lucky. Then with the dungeon, the Imperial Citadel, sure, there's the Zealous Blast Scepter. It will be climbing up in price, also like with the Spelljammer artifact. You can see it's right now like only like 8,000, and I'm sure when people stop running that dungeon, this is going to go up to 100,000 as well. Just needs to wait like another module or two. With the Mountain of Flame right now, as we discussed already, there's those artifacts, Fiends, Slayers. There's the Epic Syrian Conduit of Magma, which is like super high value because it has a pretty low drop rate, and again only coming from like heroic encounters and those giants. But yeah, sells for quite a bit if you got lucky and dropped it. Same with the companion gear. You can see all of that just here. Companion equipment, legendary, and that's also going for like 600,000 up to 1 million on those pieces. Loads of Astral Diamonds to be earned there. Just you got to be very lucky for it to actually drop. Lair the Mad Dragon dungeon. Again, we already showed the Jewel of Caldera and the set to go with it. That can sell for a lot. Dread Ring, you can still get your enchanting stones. Would recommend waiting for ×2 refining stones events to get twice as much. And you're just going to make sure you're doing those layers on the right day as per the schedule. And of course, you got to do a bunch of farming to actually get the lair keys. And I've covered it in many videos. It's still a good opportunity to make Astral Diamonds. Then Storm King's Thunder, you could like make frosted glyphs, you could get the restoration agents and sell them. Assault on Svargbrook Trial, you can sell the Valhalla set, can be very good. Even Jarl's Gaze is a very cool item. Again, just fashion, but sells for like 30,000. Castle's Retreat, you can get the Corrupt Overloads. They sell for a decent bit too. You can see them just there like 40, 50,000. You can get like them fashion items then as well. You can do Cloak Descendancy and get Mirage weapons. They're still a great set. Probably don't sell an awful lot anymore because end game min-max players are not using them, and then like less adept players tend to then not use them as well. But still, decent amount of Astral Diamonds if you can get them to sell for yourself. Very cool set that summons a clone of yourself. Then you have like Jungles of Chult. You could do the hunts and get the lures, and if you find a buyer, you can make decent amount of Astral Diamonds with that. It's going to be in Shoshin Star and like the Lost City of Omu. Tomb of the Nine Gods. There are some, again, fashion items here you can sell. Like Paladin's Blessed Shield, as we showed, was pretty expensive. To be honest, I'm not sure why. It doesn't even look that great. Cradle of the Death God, you could get this set. Not really worth much. Ravenloft, you can get like the Vistani set. That's probably not that much, very expensive because people have the currency. But if we just look here, yeah, again, 100,000. Sell it on Legendary, 400,000. You can definitely make some Astral Diamonds from it. You can go to Descent into Avernus. You can sell diluted holy water and the reagents for it. You're like upgrading the diluted holy water even for yourself to then get like the debuff, which is the volatile holy water, can be very useful for some mitigation checks. And you can sell all of those items that you farm, say in heroics or named enemies. You can go to the Infernal Citadel, you can sell all of these. Probably not very valuable. Path of the Fallen, you can get the holy water as well. You could do all the hunts there too. You can get a buyer to sell like the rib cage and a bunch of other appearance items. Wisps of a Shadow Demon. You can do the Zariel trial again, like we said, getting celestial weapons. You can get this fashion like the gauntlets of Redeemed, and you should be able to get the armor, the headpiece, and the boots. But I haven't seen them on the auction house in forever, if at all, to be honest. I just know they exist, but I don't know if they've actually been dropping. And then, yeah, you can see a bunch of other content here, queued content that you can do. All of these items you can obtain. And again, it's going to depend so much on supply and demand and how many people actually run that content. The peg leg, the first time they added that, I sold like 2 of them for over 1 million. Now they're like 40, 50,000. Still decent if you can get that to drop. And then, yeah, going down here, looking through the rest, we run into Rise of Tiamat, as we said, with like Tiamat's Arcane Globe, the Golden Sash, and the Golden Necklace. Very good to sell for Astral Diamonds. Totally recommend farming that trial. It's a lot easier these days. Tower of the Mad Mage as well has got some things. Even those legendary rings sell for a lot. Demogorgon, you do Master, you get like Heart's Twine, Sinuous Core, Demogorgon's Reach, and that still goes for a lot because the set is also very good, especially for scaled content. And the trial is pretty easy as well to farm, so totally an option to make some extra Astral Diamonds. Just, yeah, you do need some friends to help you because it is a trial. Let's update that typo. And then, sure, there's the Reaper's Challenge, which you can spend that currency to get like legendary insignias. You can get trade bars, which are then valued based on all of the items you can get with trade bars. So many different things here, like scrolls, companions, mounts. You can look for yourself and check the prices. But yeah, that's an option. The workshop, you can craft gold, flask componencies, dyes, armor kits and jewels, upgrade materials, and there's so much stuff in the workshop. But generally, these are probably the main things people will buy. The guild stronghold, those explorer cases, you can get guild marks, spend them for that. And those explorer cases you will open to farm like zones to get treasure, which then gives you items which you can then sell to other crafters who might need them, or even yourself. You can see the vendor just here and exactly what items each of those scrolls are going to give. You can look on the auction house the value of those items and find which chart, which case is at the time like best to open because of the value of the items. It changes all the time depending on supply and demand. And then you can go to Undermountain expeditions. You can get your Staff of Flowers, your Victoria's Music Box, your like set to go with it. Was very good, still okay. And yeah, that's pretty much my list right now. I still need to cover like events. Those are limited time things, so I didn't really want to add this to my list right now and have it as kind of a separate thing, because otherwise that would just add up so much more. Like you look at the Summer Festival, it just went by. There's all these different things you can make Astral Diamonds from. Like I didn't want to go and list out every single different fashion item you can buy and resell later on when the event's not there, because there are so many. And mounts, artifacts, legendary mounts, and there's a lot to have gained. Just these are not permanent events, so it's not something you can always rely on. So the first list here that I created has everything that you can obtain in the game right now, not dependent on like time or events other than say Dread Ring. And you can do that content, get those rewards and sell them. And there's undoubtedly some things I've missed. You can sure let people know in the comments below, and that might help them out, particularly newer players. But otherwise here has most of what I could find with spending a few hours creating this list. I may very well make an updated one in the future, particularly covering like events which I haven't really added yet. Another thing to add would probably be the Zen market, just buying items and selling them for AD. Basically, you use the Zen exchange, you convert your Astral Diamonds to Zen, and then you go and buy items for that Zen during a discount event, during sales, and it's also going to be, tied into certain events. That's generally when you can make the most of it. And you go and resell those items for Astral Diamonds, and then those Astral Diamonds you put on the exchange and you get more Zen, and you can just keep flipping Zen like that, basically earning Astral Diamonds, playing off the way the exchange rate requires you to wait. Right now on PC it's like 9 months. I believe on Xbox it's instantaneous, and I believe PS is probably 1 month. And that wait time makes it so that the Zen is more value, and so you're earning Astral Diamonds based on just waiting. And that's like super easy way to do it, and I've probably done that nearly all the time I've played this game. Convert Astral Diamonds to Zen, spend that Zen to buy items, sell those items, get Astral Diamonds, convert that Astral Diamonds to Zen, and it's just a loop which keeps generating Astral Diamonds when you play it smart by buying the right things with Zen. And it varies all the time. Like coal motes, I wouldn't buy them at 1,000. I would wait till you get a bundle where you could buy 3 of them for like 500 Zen. And so it is, say, event orientated. But even just like using some coupons you can get right away with these celestial bags, getting 20% off something, buying it and selling it on the auction house can be gaining you value already. Overall, I hope this helps. Just be aware again, supply and demand, prices change all the time. There's nothing like specific I can say, go do this and it's always going to work, because the more people who do it, the less value everybody gets from it. The main thing that you can rely on is your 100,000 Astral Diamonds per day by refining the rough Astral Diamonds you earn. The rough Astral Diamonds you can earn from many places, like your random queues, like Bell, like Dragonflight, like campaign tasks, etc., etc. And just be sure every day you're getting it, no matter from where, and refine that 100,000. And you're well on your way to earning lots and lots and being able to spend more. And from there, if you have extra time, you can go and farm things to get items to sell them. And sometimes it can even be worth more to just do some content. As a result, you're also getting rough Astral Diamonds, and then have your chance to get a jackpot to get even more by selling it. So with that said, thanks for watching. A special thank you to all of these channel members, and we'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.